Bop, bop, bop. Everybody in the right place? Look at that. Look at that. We'll just nudge Betty a little bit over in the shot. Center some people, some little last minute overlay tweaks. Hello and welcome to Dying of Exposure presents Dying of Exsanguination, Curse of Strahd. I am your game mommy. I am joined again by my wonderful trio. Say hello, trio.
Hello, trio.
Trio seems filled with energy and enthusiasm right now.
No, me, not enthusiasm. I don't know about energy.
And it's fine because you got your girl back. Ireena is back at hand and walking up with Scratch to rejoin Belladonna and Mwezi-Mwezi. They kick dirt. Well, at least Belladonna is kicking dirt at Mother Lucia as she sits in a partially dug grave, trying to express why she felt it was super chill and cool to imprison Ireena. Essentially, that was the meter of the last session, which was our group discovering and kind of following Mother Lucia, then seeing what she would be up to, seeing if Esther would be okay. We had a little bit more with Esther and her dream and how she was interacting with the Night Mother. Sadly, we do not have Esther as player with us today, but they should be back, I believe, next week. But we are back after Scratch and Belladonna and Mwezi-Mwezi. We're all like, all right, digging the grave, little too much. We don't trust what you're going to do with Esther here. There was this is Sparta boot into the kind of shallow divot that had been dug so far. Some dirt kicking, some potential violence, some hand holding during confrontation, a la two sets of fingers gripping each other, two sets of palms gripping each other, and then Scratch snuck off and solved the riddles of the wall to be able to free Ireena, who was very satisfied, fully armored, and ready to engage with the rest of the group. And that is where we left off, with Mwezi-Mwezi, Belladonna being rejoined, and Esther being rejoined by Scratch and Ireena in tow, as we were as they loom over the prone sitting hands up position of Mother Lucia. Get the music going in. Don't know these tracks and their volumes. So I'll try to make it work, chat, our stream in and VOD. If they get a little weird and loud, that's on me. But Mother Lucia sits staring up at you as Scratch, you approach with Ireena in tow, hands up, spitting dirt out of her mouth.
Scratch just, was like, hey everyone, got Ireena. We could probably just head back to, where we're staying.
That sounds wonderful to me. Sister Ireena, welcome. And then I run over and go give her like a big hug.
Scratch will be like, all right, you two go ahead and walk Ireena home. I just got a couple more questions for the mother. I guess you could stick around if you want, but just about the work that Ireena was doing.
I think we all have questions. We'll just stay in here, and then we can be on our way.
Fair enough, yeah. Scratch turns to the mother. Is like, all right, Mother Lucia. So, you had her reading up on the bones of Saint Andrel. Now, she's free. She doesn't have to be locked down in there. Maybe if you tell us what's going on, maybe we can help you. Freely, by choice.
Before Mother Lucia responds, only because I heard the noise, did you have something you wanted to do before said response, Belladonna? Well then,
no, I'm good.
If Belladonna is sort of looming there, Ireena kind of moves toward Belladonna, making sort of eye contact, but is glancing down at Mother Lucia. Belladonna, would you please give me a perception check as Scratch begins to ask this question of Mother Lucia on Ireena here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm going to give you advantage for I'm from Barovia context.
Okay, the Barovian context. It's going to be an 11.
An 11. All right. The other, I think, because Scratch is asking the question, Mwezi-Mwezi, would you please give me a, I'm going to say dexterity saving throw, but it's not a thing that's targeting you. It's a thing that your body is going to try and react to. You could also do it as a strength saving throw. Those are very much in the body.
Dex is good because that has advantage.
Yep.
That would be a 19.
All right. I am going to, and then before your question happens, Scratch, would you please roll me a d20 and tell me what it is? This is for Ireena's attack roll.
Alrighty.
And if this is faster than 19 or higher than 19,
I rolled a 5.
There's, as you might imagine, Ireena does not have a plus 15. That is not the kind of DMPCs that I play. Ireena has a plus 25 on all attacks and can never take anything but advantage.
Triple advantage. Triple
advantage. She unlocks triple advantage. Oh, it's just what's on the sheet, guys, that I wrote. Mwezi-Mwezi.
Mm-hmm.
Corner of your eye, kind of off to the side. As Scratch is wrapping this question, you see in the night, just enough a reflection off a torch somewhere, some source of light. A little glint of Ireena's blade as she is lunging toward and downward at Mother Lucia. In this moment, you rolled a 19, which is much higher than a 5 plus 3. So you can easily choose, Mwezi-Mwezi, to intervene here or not.
He does. He does, and he does it by very quickly stopping between him and catching her in another, like, less of a hug and more just a grapple before she's able to land on Mother Lucia. We do not need to go with the violence. We have questions, Sister Ireena. But it's glad that you're back. And then, like, I set her down.
Ireena is. You set her down, but you can tell that you need to keep an arm around her shoulders, and her blade is not sheathed as she's. She stares daggers.
You can
at
keep it out.
Mother Lucia, and
But after that happens, Scratch. I assume asks her question while that's happening, and then she's just like, "You better answer quick."
Mother Lucia's leaned back a little bit at the start of it, but looks up at the 5 of you as
Does it have to be Ireena? Can it be someone or something else?
I wouldn't know unless the bones were by them. I can see, and maybe perhaps other people tapped into divine energies can see that.
Okay.
But I don't know unless I didn't know it could even happen until Ireena stepped in there, and I made a snap judgment. You'll note that Mother Lucia has not said I'm sorry.
Yeah. Scratch nods and is like, well, sounds like a tough situation. Tell you what, how about one of us stays behind? We're gonna, like, I understand Ireena's unique when it comes to that, but you can't just lock her in there. So let's give Ireena a night off, and how about, like, one of us, like, say me? I'll stay behind. I've done a bunch of reading in my time. I'll see what I can research in your books, as long as you keep those doors unlocked.
I suspect it will not work with you, since you are not from Barovia, but you are, I suppose, if you are willing to allow me not to have to die and reincarnate, I suppose it's only fair I let you read books. That doesn't seem like a particularly high price. I think that's amenable.
Scratch nods and is like, okay. How's that sound to y'all?
It sounds wonderful. Are you muted?
I suppose I agree reluctantly. I still do not trust her, obviously.
Yeah, understandably. Neither do I. But at least you'll know where I'm at and how to get in there now. So, all right then. I'll go ahead and head downstairs. I'll just stay here for the night, see what I can find, and then I'll see you all in the morning, I guess.
You have a very nice evening, Sister Scratching. Please be safe. And as like I'm just gonna go ahead and start walking off with Ireena, and kind of like as I'm walking her off, just checking in and mostly like, are you okay? How's it going? If I can pull Esther along too, I would.
Esther is happy to leave, has no interest in being here whatsoever. Esther was resting near bones? That feels gross and unpleasant. And so Esther will join Mwezi-Mwezi and Ireena.
But I will wait for Belladonna.
But yeah.
If I need.
Yeah. I will kind of wave you along and stay back just for a second to continue talking to Scratch. And I don't know are we still right next to the shallow grave that we left Lucia in? Is she still down there?
I will say that when you
what's going on with Lucia?
when you choose to step away from her, she does not rush after you. She has agreed to this and has not a lot of interest in you all watching her. So if like Scratch starts making her way down toward the basement and everything like that, then Mother Lucia does not follow quickly. So you have a moment of privacy, unless you choose to hold Scratch near it. But yeah, she's kind of at gravesite, dusting herself off, recollecting her equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll try to talk to Scratch privately. And just,
yeah.
Like, is there anything I should know before we leave that maybe you not want the whole group to know, but maybe I might want to know at least one person? You're up to something, or if there is something, like hint, hint, wink, just in case something goes wrong with the plan you have.
There's a good instinct. I appreciate the check-in. But this time, no. This time, it's everything that I said above board. I'm just, we got a good look at everything. I'm just gonna see what I can find out about this St. Andrel fella. Situation seems pretty interesting. So, yeah. And also, it seemed like probably the most peaceful way to resolve this whole situation.
Okay. Well, of course, be safe. You know where to find us, etc., etc. We will meet you back here. Confer whatever details here. We set up a time.
Yeah.
I don't know logistically what that time would be, but they do. They know.
Yeah.
We
say like
morning
or noon.
Morning-ish, late morning.
Turns out to be. Yeah.
Ireena walking back with you, Mwezi-Mwezi. Settles to the point where you get real kind of comfortable with the fact that they're not just going to turn around, run, and go kill Mother Lucia. And Ireena goes, "So, what has been going on while I have been captive?"
I have forgotten. You should probably ask one of the other sisters.
Is there any visits from the devil while I was gone?
No, I do not think we have that.
Guess.
We did make Lady Vokter very angry, and she is, of course, trying to kill us.
Oh yeah.
And
go on.
I met a very nice rolled gold, very very good friend.
The pretzel.
We will hopefully see him.
The pretzel. Rolled
The
gold.
pretzel. Yes.
He's a pretzel.
I saw that in one of the stores. Yes.
No,
But
you said you.
he's a wolf. He's a werewolf.
Oh! Is that Madam Ava gave you something
Yes,
around? Okay, that makes sense. And
And then we spent some time at Blinks's. And I think that's about it.
all right. Well,
And there's Victavio. He seems to be a good person. We
Who?
found the place where the people who are not ghosts, but are other people like us, who are not from Barovia, are stuck down there. And I think I got that.
Ireena looks at you and is like, well, this sounds interesting, and you all seem healthy, so it must have been a pleasant enough time. I mean, I suppose worse things than captive could
We
have
almost
happened.
died.
Oh, did you?
Multiple times. I was about to give the absolute, but I got away.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's good, at least. Almost dying, though, is course of events.
Esther here just did not wake up this morning.
I was simply tired. I woke up. It was fine.
We will talk about it later.
Yeah, I feel not myself. I think I need to go back to bed. I know I've had a quick 16-hour rest, or 16 to 20-hour rest, but a girl needs her peace of mind. And then Esther sort of
Eerie way to say well.
settled. Esther sort of settles to the background, Ireena continues to kind of like poke and prod to try and understand what you all have been up to, and gets most of it out of Mwezi-Mwezi, thus putting this important NPC up to date on what has happened.
Like a sieve. But it flows right there.
Where are you guys staying tonight? Last night you stayed at Blinksey's. Are you thinking of rechecking out the inn again, or are you thinking about finding a different location, maybe hanging out at the cafe or seeing if you can connect up with someone? It is fairly late at night. It's not like it's not like midnight, but it's it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock kind of thing. So it's on the later side of night.
And this is a conversation we can have together.
Yeah, above table. Where do you think your group would crash? You can just go back to Blinksey's. That's a perfectly acceptable thing. I know Scratch is crashing at the church, but
yeah. I don't know. I'm not super partial. It sounds like it doesn't feel like there's a good reason to go back to the Blue Water. Like,
at least for now.
Yeah, there's nothing calling us to be there.
No,
I think I would probably ask.
And it's where everybody knows that we're supposed to be, and people are mad.
I'd probably ask, like, what is plan B? Like, what is place B?
Yeah, it's probably Blinksey's then, at least for the time being. It's a place that is safe. It was safe last time.
That is excellent. More beans.
More beans. You walk in, he's just wrapping up his beans song for his bean heating. We will come back to a Scratch, and actually, because Scratch is staying the night there, if you want to, AAA Ron, you can pull up Owlbear, because I will be referring to the map of the basement.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're not probably going to display it per se, but I mean, unless you make some really reckless choices, which is always a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Drag you back over.
Go check out that pool room again.
Get wet.
Yep. Unable to load extension condition tracker.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Boop. There we go.
Steve, could we?
Oh yeah,
could I set up? We definitely want to take the time to ask Ireena about the doll and the Tatiana picture.
Oh yeah.
Get back.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you can even show them to her since you're at Blinksey's.
Yep.
Yeah. So, when there we go.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna get rid of the statues because they're not gonna activate. So, boop boop. When you all get back, as Belladonna catches up with the rest of you at Blinksey's, Blinksey has wrapped up food, but kind of like leaves it for you all to have and exits kind of quietly. Esther ends up kind of like refluffing the corner she was sleeping in and passes out pretty quickly after
Unbounce.
After a little bit of like unconscious, subconscious stress, and so that leaves Mwezi-Mwezi, you and Belladonna and Ireena kind of there to eat some food. And Ireena looks at Belladonna. Mwezi-Mwezi gave me the information I needed to understand about what you all have experienced as a group, but is admittedly not from around here. What are you most concerned about, Belladonna? Of what you've interacted with, what is concerning you the most? And it can be more than one thing. You You don't have to pick like a number one. It can be group.
I suppose it depends on what you mean. The thing that is most concerning me is like new information I have found alarming since getting to city.
Yes.
Probably murder plot for festival.
Okay, what is murder
That
plot
is,
for festival?
The plot for festival.
Yes, there is going to be a large attack on the festival.
Do we need to defend the citizens of Barovia or of Velaki?
Very possibly. I have reason to believe that the intention is not necessarily to harm civilians, but I got the impression that collateral damage had not been very well considered. It sounds like it is perhaps some sort of dramatization, like for show. It sounded like perhaps it was all political staging of some sort, but I don't tend to care very deeply. So I did not retain much of that part of information. Mostly remembered murder plot for festival.
Okay, murder plot for festival.
Mass murder plot.
Do you know who is
Like
behind?
wanton.
Who is the maker of machinations behind murder plot? We know this.
I do not know for certain. I have strong suspicions, but was not actually able to confirm. I am only aware of the instrument of the attack.
Ooh, what is instrument?
He's a very big kitty.
Very large creature, beast, feline in nature. I did not get
It is
very good look, but it is
Bloodseeker.
large. Its name
That
is
is his name.
Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker.
Well, that's a good name, though a little in poor taste here in Barovia. The Bloodseekers are usually vampires, and we do not
Yes.
enjoy
If-
blood seeking that much here. But
He gave the impression that his task was to find and eliminate 2 specific targets by scent, so he had no way to communicate to me who that might be, and then to also destroy any of the unliving. I believe that we had struck a deal, and he has given me the impression he intends to not harm any of the living, and I will reward him if that transpires. But it is still a large beast, and I do not know truly who its master is and how or why they control it. So I cannot guarantee. I do not know if the beast can even make a promise like that. If it's up to it. But that is the impression I gathered in our brief conversation.
sorry, I got beans teeth. This is this business you want to be involved in?
I think we do.
Does this somehow lead to murdering Strahd?
Well, it is, again, it seems very politically motivated. So whatever machinations are going on there might be
We have
of interest at least, but it does occur to me that you are right. I do not feel particularly inclined to care besides the, what is it?
If anything, it might be a way.
Overwhelming human cost.
Mm, yes.
Yes.
If anything, it might be a way to deal with the other problem of the Lady Wachter.
Do not know anything but the reputation of Lady Wachter, but I hear she is
She's a very bad woman.
She is serious beach.
She hit the strange little man that's spying on us with a switch, as if he was a child.
You do not hit to adult men like they are children. You should stab them. That is
Exactly.
You should hit them with their car. Okay. Thank you for catching me up. Would you all have problem if I murdered Mother Lucia for entrapping me without my consent?
I would rather not, but it is your decision.
Do not have to participate, of course, but I am inclined to pay her the sentence of, I spent plenty of my life recently in church. I was happy to go to church and research thing. I was supposed to try and get Strahd out of my purview. It felt wonderful when I stepped across the threshold. That lasted 15 minutes, and then I was prisoner. And I do not have patience for that, but I will, if you would prefer not to, stay my hand until you either give me the green flag or the red flag of whether or not, since you did come and help me out and you have helped me here, I certainly owe you all enough debt. What are
Let me put it like this, Sister Ireena. Is it going to involve us? Does it make us move along the path to kill Strahd? To kill Mother Lucia?
Fuck, that's good. You turned the statement that I just said that to me. That's very good, the Mwezi-Mwezi. I did not think you to have that.
My sister-in-law said I was always good at that.
Well, fuck me then. I guess it does not actually serve purpose but pride. Shorthand satisfaction. Alright. Now, and I'm gonna cut over to Scratch here after she says this, but it's like, now let me look at these pictures that they've drawn. Is this me? And that is where we cut over to Scratch. Scratch! You're back in the basement of the St. Andrew's Church. I assume you just head into where they were holding Ireena?
Scratch swings by the dining area to grab some snacks and a drink, and then
so much food down here.
Oh yeah, and then she heads in to start doing the research. Nesting in
to do the research. So you immediately go to some bookcases. You see some books already pulled out. You're not unfamiliar with study and such. St. Andrew's bones are on a dais, like a little platform, kind of preserved magically in that space. They're old. They don't have any scent to them. Even though they've clearly never really seen sunshine, they are bleach white bones. In pristine condition, in some sort of clerical, paladin-y sort of dressed attire that you're pretty sure was put on more recently than when they died, since there's no marks on them and they seem not aged nearly as much as the bones simply must be. But as you pull, I am going to ask you, what sort of... I'll give you a choice. You can either research in a historical fashion or a religious specific fashion, and get advantage on either of those to have a higher success chance, or you can roll flat for, I just want to find out good things that will be helpful, and that kind of gives you a whatever you get in a flat roll is going to be inherently more helpful, unless you roll like nat 20s in one or the other of them. Then you can do that. But I'll leave you to that.
Okay. I think I'll probably go with the flat roll. Just like Scratch, has never been to like any magical schools or anything. Like she's an autodidact, more or less. She learned how to learn from the person who raised her, and so she has a very workman-like approach to it. She's approaching it like sort of like an engineering problem. So the first thing she would do is like look at the bones, try and investigate them, see what the what's going on with the bones, and then she would probably hit the books after like getting familiar with the bones themselves. So I would say I would be aiming for either or both of Arcana and or Investigation. Also, coincidentally, I have proficiency in those.
Yeah, coincidentally. Yeah, pick one and roll with advantage.
Alrighty. That is 19 plus 6, 25. I'm going to say that's Investigation. Or it could be a mix of both. I don't know. Either way.
I think with your, knowledge of magic, you definitely feel that there's energy off this. You know that it's divine. You don't connect with it like, say, Esther would. Or like, apparently, Ireena, like, automatically connects. It's not something that feels like a specific spell. But with your earlier, like, casing of the joint, you do feel like it's almost like a magical component, I think, to a degree. But, like, the linchpin, like the center, like the absolute crux of the component. So without this, none of the other components do shit. This alone is doing the heavy lifting of the magic here, which from Lucia is consecrated ground, and you've felt that since you've been in the property of the church. I would say with a 25 investigation, you do notice that they do lay a blade at like a broadsword at the Bones' side, and without having too much medical knowledge, but maybe having the aches of being a mercenary on the road, you can see that there is some minor degradation around the right wrist joints and around the right elbow, which implies both right-handedness, but more importantly, that they swung something heavy around, likely the blade at their side, with all those context clues. You eventually, in your kind of investigatory research, do discover the sort of like written story of Saint Andrel. Saint Andrel was a knight of a church that had been excommunicated from that church, but still wielded divine power regardless, and was there at, according to this history, the time of the cursing of Barovia. So existed in the Barovian Valley before Strahd came, before the curse, and was one of the first leaders of the initial sort of like major rebellion against Strahd, and was struck down in this very basement, in this very room, and not to take too drastically from an obvious movie trope, but literally says to the effect of, strike me down now, and I will be more powerful than you can ever imagine in this place. And that is what is suspected to be the initiation of the consecration ritual that eventually led this to the one place that Strahd himself could not intervene or invade.
Interesting. Okay. Is there...
Go on.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, I have questions, but I'll wait till you...
No. Give me the questions.
Okay. Is there anything, any information, anything that might indicate why the magic seems to be fading now?
In your investigation, you know that it shouldn't. Nothing's disturbed the bones. The ritual seems to be up. This is a holy site. And so the magic should not be fading. I think when you not so much look into what you know about this or what you can research here, but more reflect on what you know about how the mechanics of magic at least work in the fold and seem to relatively work similarly here. The only way to stop a holy site from being holy is to remove, weaken, or disturb the source of that. That's very much clearly the bones. So it's not, they don't seem, recently damaged or modified. You have plenty of time to look over every detail. Nothing seems out of place. Everything seems consistent with what you would expect to be here. Which means something is pulling the magic down. It's the only other way.
Okay. Let's see. I think probably once Scratch reaches that point of the investigation, she would probably go to find Mother Lucia to ask a couple questions.
Mother Lucia is happens to be in the kitchen just after you had gone there and everything. It's been like a couple hours. Happens to be in the kitchen. You find you go upstairs, you find one of the older patrons of the church cleaning up, that's just volunteering. And he tells you that Mother Lucia said that she was going down to fix her something to eat, so she's at the basement level down in the commissary kitchen area.
Perfect. Yeah, so basically Scratch will saunter up to her and be like, hey, so I've been doing some research. I need you to tell me everything you can about how it's set up, if I'm going to understand anything about why it's fading. Unless you know why it's fading, you could just tell me.
I don't know why it's fading. It never did before. I couldn't find any record of there being any trouble with it.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to need to show me around then. Show me how the whole thing works. And then I'm going to start looking at what's happening. Can't fix a problem until you find out what the problem is.
Give me a insight roll, if you would like. And again, you've got a lot of time. Mother Lucia agrees and starts sort of touring around with you, kind of showing you how certain things work, showing you around the grounds, and explaining this. But give me an insight roll for it, and do it with advantage because you've got plenty of time to keep studying her while she's talking to you.
Cool. Okay. That's 17 insight.
At least as far as you can tell, she slides into sort of a lecturing, sort of like a lectern sermoning, but without there being a motivation behind it. So very more like professorial lecturing. So if she is lying, she's lying while she's in a mode where she's reciting information to create context and education, which is challenging to do. You're not 100% oh, I can tell that this is the most honest this person has been, nor are you have immediate reason to be suspicious. But you at least have a little bit of an instinct that perhaps she is speaking pretty thoroughly to you. one of the things that sells that to you is as you're walking out of the basement and you inevitably ask what's behind the door that you have not been by, that's like right by this room, been into.
Yeah.
She's like, don't go into that room. That's the spider room. The spiders have that room now. If you had gone into that room, it would have been initiative and there would have been spiders. But the spiders have that room now. And then down the hallway just as a wrap around to the back side of the long room where I'm helping other people. But and so she walks you around the campus to kind of like summarize. She gives you some key pointers of information. She is the 4th person to hold the rank of the mother of the Church of St. Andrel. It was before that a church to the Morning Lord, but Andrel himself had pulled that down during the time of the curse. He had left it up even though he had already been excommunicated from the Morning Lord's church, and Lathander's Light was supposed to abandon him, but did not. And so he counted that a miracle, and then never really proselytized like saints and heroes are more important than the deities that back them, but people sort of inferred that, and he didn't disagree with the opinion, so it sort of naturally evolved from them. They have to tend to certain supplies around grave sites of any of the truly most faithful, which they perceive to be the previous mothers that have been guiding and shepherding this church and taking care of things here in Vallaki. So all those like all those components that you found around the graves are put there, and that is why they are held there, is because that is the nearest place they can bury them to St. Andrew's Bones without burying them at St. Andrew's Bones, which they are not sure is okay. You get the overwhelming suspicion that like Mother Lucia and the mothers before don't really know why this is working the way it is, in a way that like comes from expertise. They just know what has worked and what they need to do. They're not unfamiliar with the concept of consecrating ground at this kind of a magical level, but they are deeply beneath that level of access to divine power. And so you see them, you get more, the way that Mother Lucia speaks of herself is in the form of a steward or a caretaker, rather than a leader of like a very specific like underground resistance. And in fact, you might consider it that she doesn't know or isn't involved in any way with any kind of resistance, like maybe Rictavio is, or like perhaps what's his name, Erwin Mardukov would be, or maybe Belladonna's. There's some breadcrumbs that maybe Belladonna has some connection to that, or her dead husband. You don't know. But It doesn't seem like Mother Lucia seems to speak like a person that is actively in resistance, other than being in a space that is actively in resistance to the Curse of Barovia.
That makes sense. And she's just trying to keep her corner the way it is. I get that.
But while you're touring around the grounds, Scratch, with advantage again, perception.
All right. Oh, 21.
Something clicks. While you're touring around the grounds, you remember that while you were staking out this place, you spent a lot of time all day at this cathedral, on and off. While you were doing your first B&E, Belladonna and Mwezi-Mwezi were clocking this groundskeeper that wasn't doing groundskeeping correctly. With the 21, since it's over a dirty 20, I'll give you one more bit.
All right.
Another relevant fact that you know from your discussions and knowing that you have to avoid Lady Wachter is that there's some sort of cult that Lady Wachter has kind of been seemingly rumored to start, and there's something around maybe like infernal kind of demon-y devil worship. And the other factoid you remember about Wachter is that Wachter is Team Strahd. Like, Wachter doesn't like the Baron and Baroness because they constantly seem to be giving an open middle finger to Strahd being, like, not in, like, a resistance way, but in his, like, yeah, but this is Vallaki. What are you gonna do? Kill all of us? Kind of thing. And so she doesn't like the Baron and Baroness for that. They don't like her for being a Strahd loyalist. She seems to be starting some sort of cult. Those plus the groundskeeper are the bits of information that kind of scratch at the back of Scratch, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So things are starting to click for Scratch. Scratch thanks Mother Lucia for a time, and she's like, "Okay, thank you. I think I can pick it up from here. I'll let you know if I have any other questions. But other than that, you have yourself a good night. And sorry for all the trouble so far, but maybe we can get this cleaned up for you."
I would appreciate it. It would definitely be nice. And, feel free to avail yourself. Don't go in Spider Room. Spider Room is bad. But feel free to avail. Oh, and since you are feline, forgive my assumption. There's another room with, like, a body of water in it. It wants you in that body of water. So if you're not a big fan of getting soaked in water, maybe avoid that room.
Oh, yeah. I was curious about that room. What... It just wants me in the water, that's all? It's not going to try and, like...
It is lonely and a little bit deadly, but it is also very good at cleaning. So, and you don't, maybe, does Scratch? Yeah, she goes, it's very good at cleaning, and she kind of leaves it at that.
Yeah. Scratch has no particular aversion to water. She takes baths and showers like anyone else. But
just doesn't want to be surprised by it, by getting pulled into one.
Yeah.
And so you're welcome to. Just know that it's going to try and, like, keep you in it. You got to kind of dodge a little bit when you want to get out. It's very clingy.
Thank you for the warning. I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to probably inspect the grounds around here a little bit more before I head back in, if that's all right.
That is fine. Feel free to reach out to me.
Do you happen to have any... I don't know what you would call it in Barovia, documentation about how the things around, the various, like, sites that are part of the whole setup are supposed to be set up?
Oh yes, procedural documentation. Yes, we have the standard operating procedures for maintaining this ritual. This is all very. The second mother was very much about recording things, so no one forgets and screws it up, and was aghast at the first mother for not doing that. She said something about tribal knowledge is how we fail, single point of failure. I don't know.
Sounds like a smart cookie, that one.
Yes.
But all right, perfect. I'm just gonna take a look at the setup, make sure everything's good to go, and I'll see you in the morning.
All right, I'll see you in the morning. Thank you, by the way. I understand it was not kindness, it was utility, but thank you for preventing Belladonna from murdering me, and you can thank your friend Mwezi-Mwezi from preventing Ireena from murdering me. It would make sense that either of them would do this. I mean, it is Barovia.
Yeah.
Fuck around, find out the country.
Part of me wants to say don't thank us yet, but no problem.
Fair. and she leaves you to it. Before we cut back to Blinksies, is there anything in particular Scratch is trying to accomplish in the night? Is my first question.
Nothing outside of just what she said this time. There's nothing. She's not really going to be like sneaking around or doing anything. She's pretty much just like doing an investigation right now, just straight up. Comparing it, she's going to be like inspecting the grounds and trying to compare against whatever they have written down and see if she can find anything amiss, anything that the groundskeeper might be fucking with.
I'm gonna have you roll another investigation check with advantage
Sure
on that.
thing. That is a 20. Dirty 20.
And then and so we will get to what that resolves in, and then regardless of that result, and I know it might change based off the reveal, does Scratch have intention of going to sleep? And if so, where?
Probably. The only bed she's aware of is in the sick room, but she doesn't. So she'd probably just sleep where Esther had been sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll get back to what the adjusted 20 will reveal in a bit, but we return back to Ireena, Mwezi-Mwezi, and Belladonna in Blinksies. A number of drawings that Scratch has reproduced of Blinksies drawings are there in front of Ireena as she looks over them. Where did you, sorry, gotta pitch down. Where did you get these?
Everywhere.
We Scratch made them off of Blinksey's drawings.
Why does Blinky Z have drawing of me?
We do not know. He said he said I think it was Tatiana, former historical figure who looks exactly like you in the picture. And the door.
Yes, there was long story. I was not here, I don't think, to hear it, but it was relayed back to me long ago. Love slighted Strahd in some way. I think she was to be married to his brother or some
that
such.
is the
But
story.
somebody keeps commissioning art in various forms of this figure. There is someone, I do not know if it is an envoy of Strahd or just another sick fuck we have to deal with tertiarily. But somebody is commissioning various artists or various forms of art of this figure, who in these newer iterations are looking more and more like you.
I do not care for this.
No, it's very
No.
unsettling.
Yes.
I feel you are deeply unsafe from a thing that we are not fully aware of where it is at any given time or who it is exactly. I'm very worried for you. You should be very afraid.
I sit at the base minimum of like 4 out of 10 fear. This is moving it to a base minimum of like 6 out of 10. Not happy about this.
But this is only 6 out of 10, so that is
Yes.
not that bad.
Honestly, for Barovia, that's not terrible. Plenty of 7s, 8s, and 9s, and too many 10s.
11 perhaps.
That doesn't make any sense. Scale stops at 10, Mwezi-Mwezi. Why would it go be? If it was a scale to 11, then yes, 11. But scale stops at 10. 10 is maximum. No need for
Yes,
showmanship.
but what if this one goes to 11?
What if this one goes to 11? I think I die of heart attack. I think it's end then if you hit an 11 on fear. Alright, so we cannot go back to Blue Water Inn because Lady walked her. There might be a murder plot. There are pictures of me. Is the doll, like, you guys had the doll, I think, at one point?
We did. Was in Blinksy, so unless it is removed from Blinksy's,
Yeah.
we would definitely show that.
Yeah.
And I know Scratch was the one who asked, I think, most of the questions about
Yeah.
originally finding that doll and tying the pictures together.
There's a doll of me. That is worse. That is so much worse.
That
I
is
do not like
I
a doll of
agree.
me.
That is so much worse.
If it makes you feel better, the small doll
Yes, it is not. It is not not the
it is
one-to-one
not
size.
large. It is not realistic.
It-
It's not
And it
squishy.
makes you look very beautiful.
Thank you.
Very
Mike.
flattering, yes, I suppose.
It does give me more ass than I normally have, which I appreciate.
Also, very heavy on the eye makeup
Yes.
and the rouge.
A little
Very
male
lot
gazy.
of flush teeth.
Yeah.
Very lot to unpack there. Considering.
I am deeply concerned about it, but I will not think too much about it beyond the fact that it is a doll that looks like me that is being called. Belladonna, does this mean that the stupidest story is true, where like Strahd is like a man that's just mad that a woman wouldn't love him, and that's why all of this is happening? Is that really what this is all about?
Very possibly, yes.
Oh. Absolutely disgusting. I do not think that there is any reason that depictions of me, or if it's Tatiana and I just look exactly like Tatiana, he's called me Tatiana before, this all tracks.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
I was there that night.
Oh yes, when he visited
we
us.
shooed him from your window.
Yes.
I do not think that you should give it another moment of thought on there is it could only ever be something like that, because that could only ever be the slight of somebody that was so evil and corrupt and awful as to be in this position. It is like it is impossible for it to not be that way. It's like there are no generous, wealthy men. There is no
Yes,
there is
yes.
no world where someone could hold that much power and not be incensed by any moment where he cannot seize the power. It simply would have to be that way. It's unfortunate, but it is also not surprising.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law told me many times about how the people in the city who have the power are very, very dangerous.
It's like if someone is in charge of more than, say, like 100 or so people, it goes immediately to their head. Like there's like a
To be in
threshold.
charge of that many people, sometimes you have to stop seeing them as people. And in a way, sometimes that is necessary to do very important and very good things. But then sometimes it goes too far.
But I
And
think you
people-
all need to do. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please.
But I think you all need to do though. You grow all the wheat, it comes in, all the people come together, and they're all not knowing. But if you go out and you're in the woods and it's good, then everyone is involved. And there will be fights, but they will be okay, because at the end, we're all just trying to live.
There's a beautiful vision of how community can work. I'm not sure that it is only an absent thing in Barovia, but it is nice. It's nice thought. I think I need to rest. Can you hand me the clown dolls, please? They soothe me for no apparent reason. They should haunt me, but they feel like the better doll choice.
Better doll choice than little tiny version of you commissioned by Madman, yes.
Yes, I am going to stressed this night. Does this place have bath or washroom of some kind that I can? I've been in this armor for like 3 straight days, and I could use relaxation. Do you know if Blinksy has like bathing thing?
Does he?
As far as you know, no, but you do know that there's a big wash basin out back in the little like cove that's kind of isolated from prying eyes kind of thing. Is like Blinksy's little back corner that you had talked with Rolled Gold in is pretty private, and so and you could see that there were like towels and rags. It was pretty obvious that when Blinksy bathes, he bathes in a wash basin there.
Ah, yes, there is the place where I talked to Rogo, which I want to tell you, he is so cool and he is so involving me. Cool is how you say it, but let me show you where you can wash it.
Okay, thank you.
It is not luxuries, but it's good.
I do not need luxury, I just need soap. And is there anything that Mwezi-Mwezi or Belladonna wants to do before you all, like, rest down for the night?
I think Belladonna would probably just do her usual, like, evening meditation. If she has spell slots left, which she, I believe, does, she'd cast her Unseen Servant and try to do any communing, see if... But that's, the same routine.
The same routine. Belladonna, give me a religion or arcana check, depending on the vibe that you want to hit. And Mwezi-Mwezi, is there anything you want to do before the end of the night?
Since it looks like we're going to be staying here for a little bit, I just kind of want to case the joint to try to figure out like where entryways and stuff like that might be.
Yeah.
You should just basically set this up as a more defensible place if need be, like not getting in the way of Blinksy's business, but
I'll let you roll either survival, perception, or investigation for that.
okie dokes.
And that was a 5 for Arcana for Belladonna.
Yes. I used the bad die and I got in that one.
Belladonna.
For survival.
First, Mwezi-Mwezi, Ireena, when like pragmatically when bathing, offers you like some soap and a wash rag, and is not particularly shy about the fact that you also might want to take a bath while they're bothering to put
I'll
water
do so.
in the bin
I'll do so.
and everything, which gives a little bit of time for Belladonna to do her kind of private ritual. A 5 in Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do the sad Belladonna music. It's your leitmotif. Normal ritual. Normal amount of presence. We've felt this before. He's there, but he's not close. But the unseen servant makes him feel a bit more close. In a vacuum, would Belladonna have wanted to at least enact some level of violence upon Mother Lucia for transgressing so much of Ireena and potentially putting Esther under threat? Because I don't think Belladonna ever was fully convinced that she was actually trying to help Esther.
No, I don't think. I think Belladonna always intended to give the final say of any actual violence to Ireena as the harmed party. She was just having an absolute fucking hissy fit over the audacity,
Yeah.
mostly.
Mm-hmm. When you feel almost like a question trying to connect of like a why, as if but it's not quite that you're not hearing it as like his voice or even feeling it as his emotion. It's almost like your own mind saying why wouldn't you be the one to do this? And you've already, internally thought, no, Ireena's the grieved party. It's Ireena's. And I think the conversation in the mind is very much leaving you with only a 5 Arcana, leaving you with a kind of a strange, maybe a rare moment of, it's very reasonable to see that as the obvious choice. And the correct choice, arguably. Like the respectful one, the ethically proper one. But even if Scratch isn't being nice, even if Mwezi-Mwezi was able to escape guards, even if Ireena was accidentally captured and tricked by a person that's reasonable to trick them, even if Esther is playing things close to the vest, as she always seems to do, but still acting as this. When you met this group, you met a sly cat and a powerful lupine creature and a wealthy, aloof, but not without talent, and certainly positioned well with Lathander, trio of people that felt like a good trio to come out. And they're not... Maybe this isn't the group. Because they seem to be making choices that you don't necessarily wholly disagree with. But maybe a piece of you does. I think that's a lingering thought, and it's hard to recognize it as anything other than your own mind with a 5 Arcana. You don't know if that's external influence or internal rulings, but
yeah, me every day. Is this a spiritual revelation, or do I just have anxiety?
Exactly. I know I'm playing a little close to the cross character with that a little
perfect.
bit. But
Insight.
Yeah. And with that,
Okay.
you all go to sleep. We return to Scratch. Go back to... Where'd you go? Somewhere in the mix here. That's where it was. We return to Scratch. You rolled a modified 20.
Mm-hmm.
you're getting very tired, and since you are going to go to sleep, it is something. And so you give me just a moment, because I want to make sure I'm being right when I say this particular material.
Okay. While you pull that up, what was the 20 on again? Perception?
Investigation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were investigating the grounds and everything before you went to bed.
Okay.
It took you a while because you're so used to the smell. Because it was brief and it was fleeting while you were investigating, and it wasn't around anywhere that you were like specifically looking.
Mm-hmm. Is it
You're used to
cinnamon
it.
and cardamom?
No, it's not cinnamon and cardamom. It's not. That would be amazing. I'm not truly crossing that level over. It took you a while because you're used to smell. You're in a city. And in a city, there's certain smells that kind of go along with city. You know, living in like a time like Barovia. One of those smells is the smell of matchsticks. The smell of like little bits of fire. There's lots of open fires, there's lots of campfires, there's lots of candles and everything, but you're used to the smell of like matchsticks and everything.
Sulfurish.
And yeah, it has that powder smell that I think takes you until you get to almost asleep to realize you didn't see any remnants of spent tobacco. Not a cigar butt, not a cigarette, not a pipe leaving. And you didn't smell tobacco, but you did smell matchsticks. And you smelled matchsticks at regular intervals around there, but you saw no matchsticks. And that's when, yeah, as you begin to drift off to sleep, you get that kind of sulfur energy. Scratch, you're asleep, unconscious in this room. So you, in this consecrated place, have a peaceful night's sleep.
Yeah.
Mwezi-Mwezi and Belladonna, please roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I was afraid this would happen.
No!
Something.
A saving throw? On what kind of, is it a frightened condition by any chance?
You know what? I'll give you frightened as a condition. I think it's fair to call it a frightened condition for you.
I can still make a roll for other things, but I'm technically immune to the frightened condition.
All right, that'll give you advantage because it won't give you like the status of frightened. It's not there, but it would be a nightmare.
Adjacent enough that you're willing to throw me a bone?
Yeah, so we'll meet in the middle. You'll get advantage on the wisdom.
Okay, I'll take my first roll, which wasn't a nat one. Total of 12.
Okay.
So are we rested?
I'll address. Oh, I forgot Mwezi-Mwezi. I'll address your nat one in a bit. So Mwezi-Mwezi nat one. We'll get back to you. With the 12 Belladonna, because you did a nat one for your survival check, or I believe. Belladonna with the 12. It's enough to make it a dream. So you only remember scenes. Or rather, recall scenes from the dream. So the only conscious memory you'll have of this when you wake up is an uncomfortable feeling of being watched everywhere you went in this large place, you're in some sort of large mansion, castle, city, town, and you're always being watched. But whenever you look around, nothing is watching you. And whoever you're with reassures you that nothing is watching you.
If within the dream, if I can ascertain only one more sense or focus on one thing,
Yeah.
I think I would try to get a sense of if I feel like one singular creature or thing is watching me, or if I'm being watched by everything. It's
Oh, let's make this worse then. Thank you for asking that. You do know that it's one singular thing of watching you. And your mind so deeply, as it often does dream about him, wants it to be the familiar watching over or watching to get your attention that was taken from you. And you feel that for a moment as it transforms and evolves into a much more unsettling, there's a give and take in the space of a healthy concept of a relationship where two people that might say the phrase "you're mine" to each other really means a number of subsequent less succinct sentences about I'm yours and you've given yourself to me back and we're each other's responsibility, and that is what that means, but we love each other and so we're fine with this. And then there's a one-way collection of your mine, and that gaze lands upon you in a positive way at first that feels familiar and missed, and then warps into a negative way that is one individual, a ruined way of it.
okay.
I think with a 12, that's what you get for your wisdom save.
Yay. Good luck, Mwezi-Mwezi.
Mwezi-Mwezi, I do actually need you to make a wisdom save, but since you rolled a nat 1, I need you to make it with disadvantage. For not dreaming. You're not asleep yet.
My question is, are we rested?
You were not. This is the middle of the night. You were wrapping up watching and doing your patrol. Ireena went inside. Ireena's aside asleep near Belladonna, who is also asleep and everything. And you go do kind of your last round. And then this is where your nat 1 hits and where your wisdom save with disadvantage.
That would be 3.
It's a very low number. And I want you to consider that number. And you're welcome to give me any answer and however you want to evolve it. But while you're on patrol, while you're doing the case out and protecting and looking for ways to protect, you actually do that relatively successfully. You figure out where your paths and routes are going to be. You figure out where most likely anyone might approach you. You figure out where you most likely might want to avoid in like a busier morning or afternoon and everything. But Mwezi-Mwezi specifically sees or hears at first and then sees somebody hushing someone. Shh, shh, shh. A young person, not a fully grown adult, maybe a teenager, maybe an adolescent, hard to tell at this distance, but you hear someone hushing them as they're ushering them out of home with no lights on. And they've got a hand, you can see that they've got a hand around this person's arm. They're dozens of feet away, like 100 feet away, 150 feet away from you. You can only kind of see their shapes and forms, but the taller person is sort of ushering the smaller person. You can see that there's like a little bit of a resistance, but like not like a very strong fight there. And they're ushering that person out into the streets headed north.
What what social class do they look like?
Nothing particularly special as far as you can tell. They're both in, one is in sort of like a night coat that you would wear indoors on a chillier night. The other is in like sort of like a trench coaty outback coat, like just a long black leather jacket, and has a hat on that is and none of it looks particularly pristine. It all looks pretty common.
Okay. I am going to think, yes, it is probably good that they do not come to this toy store. And just kind of, I will probably mention it to someone when I get back, but it doesn't seem important to like deal with.
You go back toward the door and turn your face from them. That is when your ears hear like a quickly muffled yell of no, let me go, in the same direction that you were dunning, and it was obviously like muffled out by like a hand or something. Interrupted. You get like, no, let me go.
I am unfortunately going to have to immediately because it's late, I am basically going to try to enter rage and just immediately go over there and deal with the situation, because it is night. I don't want to be out here. I know this, but I do not want to have something terrible happen somewhere.
Mwezi, you are hundreds of feet back from them, and I need you to roll me a stealth check with disadvantage, because you're in a rage specifically.
Mm-hmm. That is a 15.
We'll give you a kindness. Belladonna, would you roll me a d20? This is for this person's perception. We'll give you Belladonna, as Buzzsaw has not been rolling super hot tonight.
Yeah, 3. I rolled a 3. I'm glad we could weaponize my misfortune.
I mean,
would Belladonna hear Mwezi-Mwezi go into a rage?
No.
Yeah,
it's like just a
rage isn't
like
always
a snap
necessarily
thing.
like
a scream. It's not a
snarling and
Colossus yell.
screaming.
Which, if I go into a rage, it's always a Colossus X-Men arcade game. What? Every
the
time.
boring and the what's it called and all that will come once we get to the target and begin to bring it down.
Mwezi-Mwezi, you start running after this person. You're gaining ground on them. They're moving fairly quickly, but they're dragging a person that's resisting them. As you get closer, you can definitely tell this person is a child, like, that's being dragged.
By another child or by a teenager?
The person dragging them is an adult, maybe not a particularly big adult, but they're at least 5'4", 5'6". Maybe they're a teenager. You can't see from the back of them. They give the read of someone strong enough to pull along this child, as they're moving up north toward the city. I'm going to have you roll me, Mwezi-Mwezi, one more stealth check before you get into, like, engagement range with them. This one will be still flat, though, instead of at disadvantage.
A 11.
All right. Player choice can be Betty Buzzsaw, can be AAA Ron. Who wants to roll the d20 to find out if this person's perception? With an 11, this person, or with an 11, this roll needs to be lower than an 8. So it needs to be a 7 or lower for them to not notice that they're being, chased down quietly in the night. Who wants to roll to think they can go under an 8? Or would you like me to roll this? I'm happy to do it. I just like players to be able to do things when they're not in the scene.
I nominate Betty Buzzsaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would like you to have a turn. I don't want to hog the rolls, but I've been rolling terribly today, so it seems like strategic advantage.
It might as well be good that you roll low, hopefully.
7, which is 7 is
7
included in 7 or lower.
Yes, 7 or lower.
Sick.
Mwezi-Mwezi, I have a question for you as you approach. You can now see that this person is hard gripping the shape that is absconding away with what you now identify to be a child, is hard gripping that arm very tightly and has a rag, not a rag with chloroform or anything like that, just a rag kind of covering over their the child's mouth, and they're like growl whispering through their teeth. No, child, I have to bring you up there. I have to do it. I have to catch the fish. I have to catch the fish. I have a question. Is Mwezi-Mwezi in human form? In animal form or in anthro form?
In human form.
Human form. So, Mwezi-Mwezi, you will be able to close an attack in this situation. You are in an alleyway in the middle of the night in Vallaki. You don't see guards out. There are oil lamps, but they're dim and few and far between, so it is very nighttime, very much shadowy, very hard for anything. You don't see any window lights on with any sort of like oil lamps or anything in this strip of neighborhood that you are in. You estimate that you're somewhere north of the central market, headed toward the north gate. Will you describe for me what Mwezi-Mwezi does as he approaches?
He is going to just straight out try to grapple the child away from the person, because I'm more like I think this is just, I'm thinking if I grapple the person, there's a good chance the child might run into something dangerous, but at least, if the child comes with me, then hopefully I can get them somewhere safe.
Mwezi-Mwezi, would you please roll me a unarmed strike or athletics check, whatever would be the higher stat for you, with advantage regardless. It's advantage because you're surprising them. I think you have advantage on athletics checks and rage anyway. There's a lot of advantage going.
Yeah. Oh, unarmed strike. That is a natural 20.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I know I have to get a natural 20 to fail this, or to not fail this. I'm gonna roll this one. That is not a natural 20. Mwezi-Mwezi, you pull this child from the grips of this man. Can I have you please roll me initiative?
$15.
Okay. Strahd. Okay, give me just a moment to remind myself of this character. This is a real fun track. It's just like menacing drum noise.
But it will be okay.
There we go. Where is it?
Oh yeah, this is a good track. Perfect for the moment.
Yeah.
There was one earlier that I was commenting in the stream chat that it made me sound like feel like I was in space. Barovian Mass Effect.
Barovian Mass Effect. You, with a 15, this person gets a chance to respond to you as you pull away the child.
Okay.
You feel... What is your AC, Mwezi-Mwezi?
13.
Oh, yeah. You feel a blade strike out of you and catch you in the back. I need you to... You take 8 slashing damage. If you're in a rage, I think you half that to 4. As you take it, and then I need you to roll me an athletics or acrobatics check, please.
I will
Your
take
choice.
athletics.
Mm-hmm. And you get advantage of it because you're on a rage.
Okay. That is a 15.
And this person grabs you with bony hands. Their breath smells disgusting, like rotten sea creature and whiskey and vomit, as it just like assaults your nose. I'm seeing this man looks malnourished, but in the way where he is not unwell fed, but the food that he is eating is wretched and useless and perhaps harmful to his body. He coughs as he grabs you and it's like, it's mine, it's for the fish, the lake is dry, I need the girl. Give me your action, as they've got you grappled, but you can still attack them. You just can't move away from them. You could take an action to bust out of their grapple, or you could attack them in this moment, Mwezi-Mwezi. They have an arm kind of, or they've grabbed like a bit of your clothing and some of your shoulder, and they're gripping and digging in with their fingers.
If I go for an attack now, do I face any? What type of roll would I have on that?
A normal attack. You only have disadvantage if you attack other people. If you attack the person that's grappling on you, you would have your normal attack stats as if you were not.
Okay.
Grappling is not constraining, and it's not disabling in that way. It just stops your movement for the most part. It's like someone's fighting with you, but like, and they got you kind of like tangled up in like a hockey fight more than it is like a like I've got you fully locked up.
They will. What's the child in relation to this?
The child is stepped back and is tucked back against the wall, but hasn't gone that far because it's only been a couple seconds.
But they're not like, they don't still have the child.
No, you successfully, you pulled the child from them. I would imagine that Mwezi-Mwezi, the moment you're grabbed, like releases the child so that they could in theory go away. But yeah, they've just stepped back a few steps toward like one of the buildings.
Then I am, I would definitely have my weapons on me. But, I am going to. Oh, so they're going to take the opportunity to pull out the machete and essentially, this is going to be lethal damage. I'm at least trying to get Vex on it because it doesn't look like that would require concentration.
It doesn't.
But yeah, it's time for death. As another natural 20.
Beautiful. What damage does your machete do? What's its like D dice?
Sorry, I didn't roll.
No. Not what you would roll. What's like? Is it a D6 plus something? D8 plus something?
D12 plus 5.
D12 plus 5. Beautiful. So that's 17. Now roll a D12 and add that number to 17.
Okay.
So that's how I do criticals in combat.
20.
20 total?
Yep.
You carve into this person. What spills out is barely blood anymore. It is slime. Like that of a fetid pool. Twisting down like their body. You actually sever their right arm from their like sever the connection of their right arm and shoulder from their collar, so a large like slice is carved into them. Give me, without having to take an action for this, give me another athletics check with advantage, and they will respond in kind respond with a regular athletics check to see if they can still hold you. You have injured them grievously in this moment.
14.
It's not enough. They've still got you locked in, and they growl. If not further than you, need to feed them. And Mwezi-Mwezi, your AC is a 13. This first one is going to be a bite. They go right for your face. That is, however, in that one. This next one is going to be with the blade. That, on the other hand, is a 15. That hits.
You round down?
What? No, 15 to hit. For first attack was that one. That missed the bite. The blade, however, did not miss. It hit with a 15. Is that correct? Your AC 13, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That is only 6 damage rounded down to, or half to 3. 3. However, they do, because they have you grappled and they can drag you, start dragging you northward while they're doing this. It isn't moving as slow as it should be. Something about their ability to collect you seems enhanced. They're tough. They're a fighty person. They seem to be dangerous, but this seems beyond it. But it's not moving into their bites or their weapon attack. And so instead of moving at 15 feet, they're moving at 30 feet, like a full movement. So you're moving quickly. The girl is no longer, in your grasp and is moving away. Do you say anything or look back to the girl before you attach? Because it seems to have abandoned her as an idea and moved on to you.
No.
All right. It's your go.
I am continuing rage.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try again to just destroy this.
Yeah.
With the machete.
Make a swing.
Why am I? Oh, I got those nat 20s and now I'm getting cursed for it. That is a 12.
12 does not hit them. Vex is where I just want to make sure, by the way, before I forget. Number one, Vex is where if you hit them, they get disadvantage on their next attack. Correct?
I didn't roll the second die. Okay.
Or is Vex a bonus damage? I can't remember.
It's Vex is you have advantage on your next attack roll.
Oh, okay.
Against that creature.
Yeah. So roll that second die.
That is a 22, which is much better.
That does hit.
Base a 10 plus 5, 15.
15. You know that if you were to strike them again, much less than that they would fall apart. They do not look well in this. I'm going to give you another chance to break their grapple. Athletics check with advantage, please.
And that is a natural 20.
You bust from their grapple. Without grappling you, they can't continue to drag you, but they don't move away from you. They move to engage with you.
Okay.
First, they go for a bite. Betty Buzzsaw, please roll d20. Triple Aaron, please roll another d20 for the blade attack.
$11.
11 is not. No, Mwezi-Mwezi's only got a 13 hit point, or 13 AC. Does hit with the bite. We'll get to that. What did you get, Triple Aaron, for your d20?
I rolled a 10.
10 will still hit Mwezi-Mwezi.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
The
Even
dagger
in a
isn't
rage?
the dangerous
It's
part.
either.
Yeah.
You're in a rage. You're still in a rage. Just to remind you, in case you weren't aware, only because of the way you phrased it, you don't need to actively keep up rage if you attack and do damage or receive damage on a turn. It just alongs. There's like if you die, if neither happens, you can burn another bonus action to hold your rage up, but and burn another rage slot for it or use for it. But yeah, I was just making sure you weren't unnecessarily burning rages. Once you're in it, you're in it. As long as you're duking. Okay, so for the blade, that is going to be 10, half to 5. And for the teeth, that is going to be 6, 8, half to 4. And I need you to give me a con saving throw, please.
Something here. Okay, so it's just strength. But I thought there was trait I picked up. I'm just checking. I don't think I actually have it. Okay. A con saving throw. Okay.
On saving throw.
About to roll a D12 instead of a D20.
I mean, you can.
11.
You feel something take hold in your blood, but you don't know what it is yet. But it does not feel good. And you know that it might be a problem. But it's not a problem right now.
Okay.
It's your turn. You're no longer grappled.
Time to get this bitch dead.
Attack roll.
Regular roll?
Right. I mean, if you don't get
Yeah.
advantage for attacking with... You could reckless attack. You're a barbarian, right? Don't you have reckless attack?
Oh yeah, reckless attack.
Yeah, it would give him advantage on you if he survives, but you are very confident that like a Nick will drop this person. They are on death's door.
That is a 19.
19 absolutely hits. Roll damage.
A 7.
7 is enough. Mwezi-Mwezi, what does it look like when you end this corrupted being's life?
So Mwezi like slices through the slices through it, and just as it just slowly spreads out as like the pieces of its disgusting form blow away. You can imagine like a very the fish. And a simple nod, and without leaving rage, they're just going to move straight back to Blank Seas is what they're going to focus on, and to be ready if anything else is going to come.
I need you to roll. Yeah, you're prepped. You're ready.
Yeah.
You're in rage. You're running back. I need you to roll me a second con saving throw. I'm going to tell you what the DC for this con saving throw is. It's a DC 15 to hit. If you do not hit this saving throw, it will not be good for Mwezi-Mwezi. So if you have anything to help you with a con saving throw, I know you might not, you're a barbarian, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure if I do. I was looking through... Wait a second. No. We'll have to see how it goes. Natural 1.
Mwezi-Mwezi. You're running back to Blinksies. You even... Maybe that's the form of the girl? You get kind of a look of her. Strange, she's... Maybe it's the shadows, but... Does she have pointed ears and, like, amber eyes? Something odd about her. Something you haven't seen yet, at least in Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
They almost glow in the dark. But it's hard for your mind to keep thinking in this moment. As you don't flag slowly, You don't become exhausted and collapse. It's like someone turning a dimming switch very quickly, all the way to off. Maybe a second or two from sprinting in consciousness to curbing onto the ground. Almost as if you tripped, but you know you didn't. But your legs stopped moving, and your arms stopped moving. And you stopped being able to see with your eyes. And like that, you go unconscious, Mwezi-Mwezi. And as you go unconscious in the street, I'm going to ask, let's see, what's the average for 3 rolls here? The average for 3 rolls will be what, 32? Yeah, let's say
D20s.
Let's do 30. Let's do 30. I would like everyone in the group to roll a d30. And this will narrate what happens in the...
I don't have a d30.
Sorry, d20. I would like everyone to grow up to group to roll a d20. Feel free to expend anything that you want on this d20. If you have advantage or an ability to give yourself advantage in character or whatever, doesn't matter. This is just a luck roll.
I got a 17.
Yeah, you're going for a 30 as a group.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count danger sense maybe here.
That's fine.
That is a 9.
So that's a 26. So, 26. 9 plus 17 is 26. So we are looking for a 4 or higher from Betty Buzzsaw.
And that is an 11 over here. But thank you for giving me plenty of room for failure.
You met the average. An 11 is a very average. It's 10.5, but an 11 is a very average roll for a d20. So you did it.
I only needed to roll 4, and that took a lot of pressure off.
It did. What? Scratch, you sleep well. Belladonna, you have kind of a bit of a nightmarish sleep, but it's hard to remember it, and it's not too bad. You both have a long rest. Mwezi-Mwezi, you also have a long rest. The night moves on, and in the pre-dawn hours, somebody comes to pick up the large form of a man, put them in a wagon, carefully, and a little figure with pointed ears and amber eyes gets in the back of the wagon with them. And another figure who also has pointed ears and amber eyes gets in the front of the wagon and drives the single mule. The wagon itself is filled with a little bit of food, a couple blankets, nothing particularly special. It's open. We see the little girl leaning over the figure with a damp washcloth patting Mwezi-Mwezi's forehead, seeming to do that. And they got there. 2 minutes later, we see 2 familiar gentlemen that got into a bar fight with a number of other hired hands patrolling the streets early in the morning, looking for someone that they recognize to try and bring them back. And that is what getting a 30 or above dodged Mwezi-Mwezi out of, is Lady Walker's sons. And Mwezi-Mwezi, you were just resting in the back of this cart, not able to move, but it's okay because you're unconscious anyway. You're getting your long rest. And we end this session like we began the last. With one party member unconscious, the other sleeping, but one brought to unconscious, but successful at saving a little girl. And certainly not in the hands of the Wachter family, on this night. And that is where we will end this session of Curse of Strahd. Thank you so much, everyone, for that. That is the end of this. Y'all did so well. Good job. Good job, Kimmy. Doing
good.
exactly what you would have done. Good job, Kimmy and Belladonna. I gave you a little bit of a gimmick that I'll talk about more offline, and I really loved how you rolled it back to me. Scratch absolute banger moments of trying to be like, what is this about, and everything. And how is this happening, and can we potentially solve it? Everybody,
there's a problem here. What's the root cause?
What's the root cause, and is it something we can address, or should we just bounce? And with that, hopefully with Esther back with us, with Sunfye back with us, where can people find you on the internet, Triple A Ron?
You can find me at Triple A Ron on YouTube.
And where can people find you on the internet, Chimerror?
Chimerror.blacksky.app and Chimerror@beach.city.
And you could, of course, find Dying Exposure at Dying Exposure across the internet. You can find Esther's player, Sunfye, at Sunfye D&D over on TikTok. And where can people find you, Betty Buzzsaw?
You can find me looking back at you from inside the mirror, but I only speak Simglish.
Perfect. Whimsically haunting.
And true.
And the most honest thing you've ever said about how you exist in real life.
Darva Brovy.
And until next time, we will all see you later, where we find out where Mwezi-Mwezi is headed off to, and when our group reconnects, what to do about bones and walkers and pointed-eared, ambered-eyed people here in Vallaki. Good night, everyone.